is what to look for when you go to a lab. And now I would tell people that while I was there, I'd be like, look, you're going to do undergraduate project, you're going to do a master's
Yeah.
or something. Someone talked to me. I said, these are the things that you want to look for. These are the questions you want to ask. And if you don't ask them, or if they're uncomfortable questions for them to answer, then it's probably not the place you want to be.
And,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's tough because for these kids that really want to do a PhD and pick a good one, it does take a while to cast a wide net to find the right combination of an enthralling enough project to keep you going, a supervisor that's compassionate enough that you'd want to work for through the tough times, colleagues that can keep you going on the day-to-day and can help you out when you need a little extra help, but then also the historical information of students going through the process and having a rewarding experience. And unfortunately, to have that right combination of factors, a professor that's a good scientist as well as a supervisor, it's really rare to find.
It's so rare, man.
Yeah.
It's so rare.
Really,
and that's
rare.
what's so sad about
it.
Is that my story. Now, most people, even bad, labs that didn't have their stuff in order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most of them were in a lot better shape than mine still. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes, and that's just in the sense that you will be pushed along more so. And I was told from the beginning, look, this is going to be very independent on your part.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that from the beginning. So I knew in that sense what I was getting into, but my personality, I want to take the lead anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I have no problem with that. Most people would hear that and that would turn them off to some degree. And they ended up getting pushed through, and maybe they don't get accomplished what they want to get accomplished, but they just want to get that degree, and to make it through, but they're not satisfied with the experience at the end of the day.
Right.
And, forget whether the science actually tells you something useful, because most of the time it doesn't, and that's no fault of anybody, right? Yeah. It's whether the idea had merit in the first place or not. Mm-hmm. But it's just unsatisfying for all the different reasons that we've talked about, because that list that you ran through about all these things need to be in order, maybe one or two things on that list would be close to par for the average lab. And that's why, if I had to do it all over again, not that I would, because I'm just saying, if I wanted to do that sort of degree again, I wouldn't do it at Western. I could have went to another school, to another lab in the States or something like that, and I could have found a lab and been way better off in that, because I feel like you got to go for top quality if you're looking at yourself as a prospect, for a lab as an asset, right? Yeah. You want to go somewhere where they're going to be able to put you to good use and get the best out of you.
Right.
Right.
It's like going to D1 college basketball school, because that's where the scouts are. That's how you're going to get drafted.
And they can actually pull it off.
Yeah.
You want to go to a lab where you can put your level of whatever, like my ideas, everything I could have put out there, and it would have actually been doable. Mm-hmm. And we would have had people looking after the housekeeping stuff that I wouldn't have had to worry about. My time would have been much better used elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I could have called on an extra set of hands if there was an experiment where you need an extra set of hands. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to do things in 4 different waves over the span of 24 hours and not leave the lab, because I could have had someone working alongside me, stuff like that. So it's, when I look back and I see like all the supervisors that we got to meet,
lots.
I just got this
hundreds. I would probably say by the time I was done.
Yeah, you more than I, but I was involved in the biochemistry department with the biochemistry club, and I know a lot of the professors in that department. Yeah, and my perspective going into grad school about this is like, everything's at a really high standard, because this is the air of the environment is that. Yeah, if you're not in it yourself and you're looking from the outside in, this is something you want to be involved in. This is like the pinnacle, right? Yeah. When I left, I just felt sad a lot, mostly for the supervisors who had spent their whole lives in coming up from the same point that we're talking about. Yeah. then getting your PhD, then getting a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of these supervisors, most of them are in very secure positions who have been there for a long time, spent their whole careers there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, are within years of retirement, a lot of the guys that I knew.
Yeah.
And if they were really honest with themselves, would probably tell you that it was a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you can see it. You can see it when you're in that environment that they didn't accomplish what they set out to accomplish. They didn't get out of the experience what they wanted to get out of,
right,
because they were limited by resources and limited by politics, mm-hmm. and at every step of the way. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference, I mean, between, you know, finding a really good spot, mm-hmm. where they have the funding, they have the resources. At the top universities, this stuff does happen at a high level, the level that you pictured it being at when you go into it.